As an anxious overthinker, what I struggle with the most is my negative thoughts. And what I have actively been working on is really getting a hold of those negative thoughts. And what that really looks like is shifting your mindset. Shifting your mindset is shifting your thought patterns. And how you do that is by consistently shifting your focus. Now, it's important to note that the negative thoughts will come, but when the negative thoughts come, what we do is the game changer. What we should be doing, and what I'm working on doing consistently, is to observe the negative thoughts. Observe the thought. It's not welcome, it's not wanted, but it comes anyway, right? The thought pops up in your head, you're reminded of an unfavorable memory, whatever it may be. The thought comes by, you observe it, recognize it, and let it pass. That's ideally what we should be doing, but it's not always that simple. And so what I'd like to note is shifting our focus consistently is what helps with that. So you've got the negative thought coming, you're observing it, and sometimes what happens is it circles back and it comes again, and it circles back and it comes again, and that is super overwhelming. And for me, that's what my anxiety looks like. It's a constant loop of the same antagonizing thoughts haunting me over and over and over again. I lose control and I feel like I don't have a good grasp on it, and so then I feel unstable. When that negative thought comes through again, observe it, but once it passes, immediately shift your focus to something preferred. Shift your focus to something positive. Center your focus on that. What you want to see more or experience more of, indulge in that. And when that negative thought loops around again, because if you're anything like me, it's going to loop around again and again and again. And so each time you have to observe it. Oh, look, there goes that thought again. Jeez, don't you get the hint? You're not welcome here. But the key is to be intentional, to be mindful about observing it and then intentionally shifting your focus to something preferred. And the reason I say that is because the more you center your focus on something positive, something preferred, the more of that you're going to see, the more of that you're going to recognize. And I'll give you an example of that. These days, I'm driving my dream car, a Jeep Wrangler. And that was my dream car. That was a car that I aspired to get years before it happened. And so all the times that I was driving around in my Nissan Sentra in 100+ degree weather with no AC, I would always notice Jeep Wranglers on the roads. I feel like every time there was one on the road, whether beside me, across the way, on the opposite end, I feel like it always caught my eye. Because when I was driving, I would tend to complain about, man, it's hot, I don't have no AC, right? I was a case manager driving around doing home visits, this, that, and the third, and it was hot. So my desire to get a car, and not just get any car, but really, I'm out here sweating in this heat, working my behind off. Like, I really wanted to invest my money that I was working hard for into something that I really wanted. So because every time I was driving around in that heat with no AC, that was at the forefront of my mind. And because of that, I was constantly reminded of what I would have preferred to have been riding around in, right? And so I was constantly seeing it all the time. And to further my point, my husband used to talk about wanting a Mini Cooper. And so he was always pointing them out. Ooh, look at that one. I wasn't seeing it or noticing them until he would point them out. And then after being married for a while and hearing him point it out, then I started to notice them around all the time. And I'm like, man, everybody's driving a Mini Cooper. Just like I'd be like, man, everybody's driving a Jeep. But that's because I was hyper-focused, hyper-aware to that. So taking that same idea, that same concept, applying that to whatever your goal, dreams, or aspirations are. If you are in an unpreferred, less than desirable circumstance right now, when those negative thoughts come that are attached to that, observe it, acknowledge it, you can sit with it, but then let it pass. And once it passes, immediately shift your focus to something that you desire, to something positive or more preferable. Do that over and over and over and over again. Every time that negative thought arises, it's being met with positive energy, positive feelings and emotions. But those feelings and emotions and that energy isn't attached to that negative thought, because again, you're letting it pass. It's attached to what you actually desire.